You can't invest your life into something that's going to lead you to hell. You have to be very careful. There are so many things in this world that people put their trust in, put their faith in, put their money into, put their time and energy into that will ultimately lead them to hell. And so, for example, there are certain things that people invest their time and energy into that will ultimately lead them to hell. For example, they might invest their time and energy into developing a skill set that will ultimately lead them to hell. Or they might invest their time and energy into pursuing a career that will ultimately lead them to hell. Or they might invest their time and energy into developing a habit that will ultimately lead them to hell. And of course, the most obvious one is investing your life into sin. If you invest your life into sin, it will ultimately lead you to hell. The Quran is very clear about that. The Hadith is very clear about that. The consensus of the Ummah is very clear about that. So therefore, we have to be very careful about what exactly we are investing our lives into. What exactly are we putting our trust in? What exactly are we putting our faith in? What exactly are we putting our time and energy into? Because if we put our trust in something that will lead us to hell, then it doesn't really matter how much money we have invested in it, or how much time and effort we have put into it. It will all be a waste. It will all be destroyed. So therefore, we have to make sure that we invest our lives into something that will ultimately lead us to paradise. And what is that? That is the worship of Allah, that is obeying Allah, that is following the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and investing our lives in that. That is where our trust should be. That is where our faith should be. That is where our time and energy should be spent. If we do that, then even if we die happy. We die in a state of Iman. We die knowing that we have done our best to worship Allah. And even if we make mistakes, even if we fall short, we seek the forgiveness of Allah. We are not afraid of death. We are not afraid of anything because we know that our ultimate end is in the hands of Allah. Our ultimate destination is in the hands of Allah. And we have done our best to follow His path. So therefore, even if we die happy. We die content. We die knowing that we have done our best. And that is the best investment, the investment in Akhirah, the investment in the hereafter. May Allah grant us ease.